Hey guys, it's Kate and I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to come and do a quick watercolor abstract floral, and so I have this giant round brush that I have. It's a Master's Touch number 24 and this thing is a beast. So I just wanted to play around with this and make a really loose painting. And I'm just going to wet my paper first. And then I'm going to go into some of my sky blue from the Meliang palette. And I'm going to mix that with a little bit of ultramarine and just get it to be a nice deep color. And I'm going to add plenty of water to this paper. And drop in extra color, just like that. And I'm just moving my brush around the paper, getting it nice and saturated, just like this. And then I'm going to take a little bit of my paper towel, and I'm just going to put it into a little bit of a ball. And I'm going to blot back a little bit of this blue so that we get kind of a cloudy sky effect. And I'm not being uniform or anything like that. I'm just getting the marks down. Just like that. Great. Then I'm going to come in here down at the bottom. And I've got this mix of some olive green and a little bit of crimson. And I'm just going to do the same thing down here at the bottom. Let me just wipe up this little bit that I got on the sky. Great. Nice. I'm going to come back in with some yellow ochre and just kind of blot it in there, along with some deep hooker's green. And I'm just going to add some stuff in here that could be shadows, but just to get some interest going on. Now, while that's there on the page, I've got my spray bottle of alcohol. I'm just going to do a couple of squirts from kind of far away. Let me just get this corner. While this page is damp, and that'll add a little bit of texture to my painting. And I might even come in and do just a couple little dots, just like that. Then I'm going to let this first layer dry. Okay, I'm back and we're dry. So you can see that wonderful texture from the alcohol. I'm going to put another layer of green on the bottom here. And I'm going to make it kind of watery, but add some extra color in here. So I'm going to kind of hold the top, and I'm going to go over it with my brush to add some more wetness, some more detail, and drop in some more color. Just to add some shadowy areas. I'm going to mop some of this excess up because I don't want it to be just an even color. I just want to add some more interest. So I'm even going to add, let's see, some tree green in here and maybe drop that in a couple of places. Just like that. I'm going to dab up that little blob that I got up top. Okay, next I'm going to use a piece of paper to protect my sky, just like this. And I'm going to add some splashes of this red right into the wet green. And let those spread out. I'm going to get some more pigment in my mixing tray and just really load up on some rich color. Just like that. So we're going to give the illusion of some flowers in the field. Now I'm also going to go back in with my alcohol again, okay, and get some more texture going on here. Just like that. And then I'm going to come in with my brush again, right up toward the top, and I'm going to mix in some Payne's Gray with this to darken it a bit and add some shadow, but I'm going to just cool it down but also keep it very watery. And I'm going to test it on a little piece of paper, and that's a good color for me. So I'm just going to come here and add some hints of some trees in the background and some far off in the distance interest. Just like this. I'm going to let that bleed down to the layer below and soften it up. Like that. All right, I'm back. We are dry with our second layer. So what I'm going to do is I've got some colors mixed here to the side. I've got a couple of different reds, like a reddish brown and a reddish purple. I've got some green, and I've got a nice dark color here with some Payne's Gray, brown, and green. And I'm going to make some florals that are in the foreground. So for that, I'm actually going to use my flat brush. This is a Zen Art number 8 flat, and I'm going to be making some sort of abstracted flowers, as if we're kind of in the flowers in the front. So this is all kind of in the background, in the distance a little bit. And so I'm going to make just some easy flowers. And I'm going to start with a sort of watery mix of this first red. And I'm going to kind of come up here in this area to put them on the lighter part of the sky. And they're just going to be some very basic flowers like this. And I'm going to come in and just dab some extra color into the centers just to give them some extra interest. And they're just very abstract flowers, just like that. Now I'm going to dab some of this up, and I've got my paper towel over to the side because I don't want them to be too dark. I'm going to put in some buds too, just like that. And maybe come in with some of this second color here, and we'll put in another flower. And let's come over here and put a couple in over here as well. Like that. And I'm going to come back in with some darker color and maybe even a little bit of purple. And just kind of dab that into some of these center areas for some deeper color. Just like that. And I'm just going to let the water do its work. This is very abstract. And so I'm going to go back into this purple, mix it up. And I'm going to make a couple of little, like, almost like lavender or some kind of flower like that. Okay. Just like that. Now onto my green. I'm just going to use the flat side of my brush and come right down from the center, just like that. And I can add some leaves here as well. And this bottom area is not going to just stay like that. So once I get my greens in for my stems, I'm going to kind of come up and make some extra foliage down here with my dark green, just like this. And I'm just using the side of my brush. And I'm even going to add some of this darker color in there for some of the deeper shadow areas. Just like that. And make it nice and messy. And we're just going to make this all kinds of foliage coming up from the bottom with our flat brush. And I'm alternating between my lighter and darker greens. Well, actually my darker green and my very dark color here. Because we're going to get some deeper shadows in here. And don't be afraid of using those dark colors. If we're in an area where there's just not a lot of sun, it makes sense that we'd have some very dark shadows. Okay, now I'm going to go into my palette, into that tree green, and mix some of that up. And I'm also going to add some yellow ochre and lighten it up even more. Just like that. And I'm going to come in and do a few more, just kind of scattered around, of this brighter green color. Just like that. Now, since we don't want to be just flower petals up here, I'm going to do a couple of strategic grasses or stems or twigs, or however you want to say. And I really like this area of my sky, so I'm not going to block that in too much. And I'm going to go into some of these darker greens and get some of those in there as well. Just like that. Now, let's do some more splashes. Because boy, I do love those. Let's do some splashes of this green color too. Nice. Now I want to put some dark centers in my flowers, and they should be dry for the most part after working on all of those. So I'm taking my dark mixture of Payne's Gray and I'm just putting in some hints with my round brush. And I'm leaving some of the white also because I don't need it to be solid. I'm just going to give some hints of some flower centers along here. Okay, I'm just going to take this one little green dot off and this little red one, but I think we can call this done. I really love it. It's very sort of abstract and messy, but a really cute little floral landscape. Let me give you a close-up here. You can see the detail in that sky and the cloudy look, which was really nice. And these little abstract flowers, who knows what they are. And then just some hints of them kind of in that, almost like a field in the background. And I hope you enjoyed doing this easy painting with me today with your watercolor. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, you can see more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, keep creating.